Hi, Shelly here. For this week's project, I'm working on some small canvases. I've got three 6x6 hardboard canvases that are covered with canvas fabric, and then I've got four 5x7s that are just regular hardboard canvases that I've primed. I've gone through my stash of collage papers and bits and pieces and pulled out a bunch of things that I think that will work well for today's project. And then I'll just apply everything with a little bit of matte medium. You know, it's funny how you grow and change over time. I have just gotten to where I love collage. I can't hardly imagine doing a project now without starting with collage, and I want to see that collage through whatever I'm doing just because it's just so interesting, and I don't know, it's very fulfilling for me. I don't know how you feel about it, but I just think it is really, really cool. Once everything's dry, I clean up my edges with an X-Acto knife. My plan is to put a cone flower on each of these using some gel prints. And so I'm just going through my papers and picking out some different colors that I think go together that would make a nice flower. For my background colors, I decide to start with my water-soluble crayons. I'm kind of limited here because I only have so many greens, so many reds. So I'm just going to go through and see what greens I have that might work well together, and then use a mix of them to try to get something that I like. And I'll put them on the canvas first and then use a little bit of water to blend everything together. It's a really fun process and I enjoy doing it, but again, I feel like I'm limited on the colors. I wanted to try to see what would happen if I took a stencil and removed, and you can see that does work. And then I decided to add in some purple on top of those spots to see what that would do. I really like it with the flowers taken out, and I wish I'd kind of left it just like this. But I kept experimenting and I put some of the purple in over the different spots, and it was all right, but I didn't love it. Next, I move on to my red board. I'm thinking about this green and purple and I don't like it, so I go back in with a baby wipe and remove as much as I can, and then I'll add in some more green to cover up some of that purple. For my flowers, I pull up some cone flowers on the internet and sketch out what I think will work for the size I think I'm going for. And then I'll just cut out one petal and then the actual cone and use that as my template. Once I've got it like I think I'm gonna like it, I take a pen and go around the cone to mark it in its spot. And then that way when I apply my petals later, I'll know right where to put them. I love my red background, but it's too dark for my petals. So I think, well, what if I put a little bit of white paint to kind of push that back a little bit? And I've got the same problem with the green. And just about as fast as I did it, I decided I do not like that at all. So I take my baby wipe and remove that white. I'm changing my mind on some of my papers, so I'll go through and cut out some different petals. I'm finally happy with all my petals and start applying them with my matte medium. I made a quick little stencil of just the cone for my cone flowers so that I could use some modeling paste to put those on. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put a good little bit, and I am doing kind of a smooth look. I think a rough application would have been kind of cool too, but I went with the smooth today. Once my modeling paste is dry, I'll go back in with my little flat-sided nippers and take off any really high spots on the edges. And then I like to go in with a sanding block and just in little circles and just very delicately make sure everything is nice and smooth. And then it's time to go in and paint. Mixing up a dark or kind of an orangey yellow here. Well, that's my project for this week. It was a lot of fun to do, and I do like the way they turned out. I love the texture and the colors, and yeah, just really pleased with how they turned out. Hey, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you'll join me in my next one. Bye for now.